Welcome to Get That Job. This is the series that's going to show you everything you need to know in order for you to do a really great interview.
What do I expect from this job? Big car, good expense account, 8 weeks holidays a year, and I come in 1 day a week, Tuesday. But not every Tuesday. Please give us the job. Please. Please. Didn't get a chance to get me lunch before they came in. Oh, sorry, would you like a bite?
Before you respond to a job advertisement, remember to read the advert very carefully. Because quite often, within the advert itself, an employer will have given you the basic skill set requirements that they have. And as this week we're looking at creating a CV that shows off your skill set, having the advert right beside you when you're writing your CV is a very good place to start. There are 3 types of skill sets. The first one is job-specific skills. The second are your transferable skills. And last, but certainly not least, are your personality traits. Now, everybody has skills, but what makes you valuable to an interviewer is actually your unique combination of skills. So if you remember to keep the job advert beside you when you're filling in your CV, you can ensure that you actually tick off all of their requirements and show your skill set to best advantage. And that means that when an interviewer is actually reading your CV on the other end, they may actually feel that they have found the right person for the job. You want to make sure that you're actually targeting the employer. If you have one CV and you send it out to everybody, you're not targeting an employer. You're not targeting anything. You're actually just throwing apples at the tree. And the chances are you're not actually going to get an interview from that. So what you need to do is you need to actually have a CV that incorporates your unique skill sets that you have that make you valuable to an employer. So you actually become a marketing and salesperson when you're writing your CV. For example, we do PR and marketing at Blue Moon Communications. So if you came to us and said, listen, we would like you to market us, I would say, what's the angle? What do you want me to market you as? And it's very simple, because if you're going for a specific job with a specific employer, there are very simple ways of finding out what that employer needs to hear from you to give you an interview.
In all my career, I've always kind of been tapped on the shoulder from one job to another. I'm not actually trained in the process of looking for a job. And I find that if I read a book on the subject, I read a book on a job interview, it's almost too much information. And I kind of read the whole thing and I might intellectually understand the whole process. But to actually put that into a sort of a practical steps, it just seems so daunting.
So your job skill set is actually the job title requirements. What an employer needs you to be able to do to actually do that job. If you were going for a marketing job, then you would obviously have to have the basic skills to be able to do marketing, or PR, or sales, or be a PA, or work in accounting. So quite a lot of jobs have a very definitive and defined job skill set. But over and above that, you have to remember that we as individuals tend to define a job skill set ourselves because we may actually have done the job before. So what I would recommend is that you actually go online and go into Google and put in the title of the job that you're hoping to be interviewed for, and then ask for the job specifications or job requirements, because an employer's version of what the job skill set is may actually be narrower or wider than what you currently interpret it. Now, transferable skills are skills that you can take from one job to another, so they're not necessarily job specific. So for example, good telephone skills are something that would be valuable to most companies, or good interpersonal skills would be valuable to most companies. In fact, you might say written skills or communication skills, or you may actually have had some marketing ability or some sales training on a job, but that may not actually be the job that you're doing. So it's very important to remember that there are skills that transfer between jobs.
And so you're there, you're doing everything, you're doing the marketing, you're doing everything, and even though you may not have done it before, so as it grows, other people can do it, but in the beginning you're doing it all, really.
So we have job-specific skills, we have transferable skills, and the third skill set is a very interesting skill set because it's the one that most people forget about, particularly Irish people for some reason, okay? And that is your personality traits. So it's very important to remember that who you are as a person is very valuable to an employer. So if you can actually marry your job skills with your transferable skills and your personality traits, you suddenly become more valuable to an employer because everybody has skills. You have skills, I have skills, you have skills. We all have skills. But what makes us unique and valuable to an employer is the combination of skills that we offer to an employer.
Well, I've just finished 40 years teaching in a secondary school in South County Dublin. I was a teacher of geography. During those 40 years I have had many hats: year head, department head, administrative night studies and so on. I didn't have any choice as to whether I was continuing working or not. I was told because you're 65, I got the papers through the post from the Department of Education and Science, and that was it. So, to be very honest, I have found it very, very difficult.
So now we know that there's three types of skill sets. There is job-specific, and they're the ones that show that you have the capability and the ability to do the job. We have transferable skills, and they're the skill sets that you can move between jobs. And then you have your personality traits. So they're the pluses that you bring to the table. And remember that it's not just the basic skills, it's your unique combination of skills that make you valuable to an employer. Now that you know how to identify your skill sets, it's really important to remember that you must create a new CV for every job you apply for. And the reason for that is that every employer is going to have a different requirement list for what makes somebody right for the job. So therefore, if you target your CV